place to be for every heart, wild and free. Music's embrace, forever strong, a symphony of life.
Don't add up like they used to. Tired of running around picking up the slack. I've always got your back till you got mine. Just give me some time. Please don't go, girl, it'd be such a shame. The air just don't feel the same when I ain't with you. Please don't go, I don't know what to say. I hate that you feel this way. I promise that I won't stay this way. Please don't go. The night sky falls, I'm all alone, wishing you would just pick up the phone. I done called twice, no damn love, lost everything but the truck. And I know that you probably think I'm nuts, and I know that you don't give a fuck. Please don't go, girl, it'd be such a shame. The air just don't feel the same when I ain't with you. Please don't go, I don't know what to say. I hate that you feel this way. I promise that I won't stay this way. Please don't go. Please don't go.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Glick's House of Music, your unofficial backstage pass, if you will. If you're not already checking out the network and following us, first and foremost, shame on you. Second of all, if you don't know about it, shame on us. But you should, because I tell you every week. Bio.link/Nonsensical Network. Got all them links there. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Those shows are live on those channels, and you can listen wherever you listen to podcasts at. Simply go to the Nonsensical Network bio.link, or just Google us. We're not hard to find. Unfortunately for you, if you do Google the Nonsensical Network, this stupid face is going to be the first one that you see. Anywho, enough about us, enough about me. We're not here for that. That killer voice that you heard at the beginning, Ohio's own. I like the guy. I don't even care. I don't even have to like his music at this point. He's already great in my book. He's a Browns fan, and he's a wrestling fan. It just makes it better that he's a hell of a musician, too. Mark Mason hanging out with me. What's going on, brother?
Yeah. What's happening? Thanks for having me, my friend.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I get excited because I don't get a lot of Ohio love, surprisingly. Not a lot of Ohio artists have come through here. However, the ones that have are up there around your guys' parts. Okay. And I can count how many Ohio artists I've had on this show. On one hand, 3.
Okay.
But they're all from up
north. I love it.
And you guys are cool up there in that area. So but I do want to say thanks for coming on, man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Of course.
Right off the rip, dude, I got to tell you, you got a very old school sound, and you don't seem very old. No. So you seem like a baby. And I say that with all due respect. You got a very old school sound to you, but goddamn, you got a powerful voice too. Like it almost, I don't know if it hurts you sometimes, but it almost hurts to hear. You're like, how do you do that?
I don't know, man. A lot of trials and tribulations formulating, one thing after another. But no, I definitely appreciate the kind words. I normally got a little beard going too, so this is one of the few times I'll look probably as young as I do right now.
Little baby.
Yeah.
No, I have been threatened with violence, severe violence, and potential unaliving if I ever touch my beard. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. The lady ain't having it, so she's waiting for you to come back quick.
That's exactly. Beard and hair are off limits. Everything else I can do whatever I want with it. So,
no.
What's going on, Chatter's Box? Wally in the building, Kayla in the building. Nice.
I love them.
It's so hard. You know what? We're going to talk about your music, but we're going to go ahead and get this one. The elephant in the room. It's so hard to be a Browns fan.
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. I love the pain.
Yeah, right. Glutton for punishment. I hope eventually one day, maybe. I don't know if it's the front office. I don't know. I mean, we seem to have the talent on the team.
Yeah.
Here and there. Thought we had it in Stefanski coaching wise, but he turned out to, I don't know, he's going to go win a Super Bowl in Atlanta because that's how it goes.
Yeah. It will be our fault. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we had Belichick once upon a time, and now he's supposed to like one of the greatest coaching minds ever to grace the NFL. So, I don't remember him being so good in Cleveland. I'm just saying.
I agree, but that's how it goes.
Yeah. Maybe one of these years. I mean, we do have some bright spots. Myles Garrett obviously is an absolute monster. Setting a record, defensive player of the year. And we got some young guys, some young, stupid, talented guys. So maybe this year we'll get 6-7 wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Something to be happy and hopeful about. That's a reason to go to the games besides just drinking a lot of beers and screaming and hooting and hollering.
I mean, that's really the only reason to go right now. But are you excited for the new dome?
Honestly, I am. I'm really not, because I just think that one of the big draws and the experience of going to a football game is the downtown scenery, the camaraderie, just everything, and it's such a historic place, Cleveland, and so I think it all just comes together and makes it just all that much better. With where they're putting it, I think it's it's got to make them money and all that stuff, but I don't know. I'm not really a fan per se, but to each their own, I guess.
The only thing I'm excited about it is I've been up there, and that lake effect wind ain't no joke. When you're outside the stadium and it's like 50, 60 degrees, and then you go into the stadium and it's 20 degrees colder.
Oh yeah.
But it is going to be weird, with everything else that's up there in Cleveland with Guardians and the Cavs and the Hall of Fame and all the food and everything else. It's all right there downtown. And now they're going to move the stadium, 10, 15 minutes away, something like that.
No.
That's going to be one of the downfalls. But more opportunities, I guess, for like you said, they're going to make money. So we can
all about that knowledge. All about the knowledge.
Yeah. Cleveland may never go to the Super Bowl, but they could host a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, it might be the only way we get in. We'll take what we can get, I guess.
Yeah, right. But anyways, I just had to get that out there, man. I am a diehard. I love my Brownies, and every year I'm like, I don't know why I root for this goddamn team. Every year at the end of the season, I'm like, I'm done. And then preseason kicks off, and I'm head to toe Browns. I have decided I will no longer buy jerseys though, because every time I buy a jersey, that player gets shipped off, except for Myles Garrett. Now I'm into the nostalgia. I found a place down the road from me, and they have an assload of old school players. Like I just bought a Urlacher jersey, an orange paired Urlacher jersey, and they've got a whole bunch of other ones that I want. I want them, but I don't know how proud of myself I'll be for owning anything Dallas Cowboys. They've got a couple players that are like, maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, man, let's get back on that music subject. We were talking a little bit behind the scenes. And and I'd ask you about the Nashville thing. If that's something that you thought about doing or done or whatever. And I know I don't want to rehash it, but we were talking about behind the scenes. What's your kind of thoughts and opinions on that?
Yeah, I think it's a great place, and they give you a lot of great opportunities, like within reason. Nashville's history, really speaks for itself. But, one of the main things that I think gets taken for granted, with like the modern day artist is, the writers rounds. And that is one of the main things that has brought me to Nashville, and allowed me to kind of show some people out that way, what I'm capable of and what I like to do. But I think now it's kind of just like another thing to a lot of people. And so for me, like moving out there, I just think it's so over flooded, and there's just so many people trying to do the same thing, and there's only so many opportunities to go around. And the way I see it, that 500 some miles away, if I'm still able to receive these opportunities, I must be doing something right. So I don't see where it would make sense for me to go and just pick up shop and move on down there. Just, so I can do a couple more, you know what I mean? It just it doesn't really make sense for me at this moment in time, but you never know what the future holds. But for right now, I'm happy in Ohio. That's for sure.
Not many people say that. So
I tell you this, and I mean this with every ounce of my being. I tell people this all the time. They always look at me weird. I would not want to be from anywhere else in the world. I love Ohio. Like, just it is everything that has helped me become the person that I am. It's a historic place. Its foundations are blue collar, hard work. Show up, put your head down, handle your business, do what you got to do, and I love that type of energy, and it builds the work ethic, and it just leads into every other thing that you do in your life. And so, like, now I wouldn't mind going some other places. Being from somewhere, I'm a ride or die with Ohio. I love it.
It's nice here. I can't wait to get out personally. I got out once.
Yeah, sure.
I got out once, and I thought I was gone forever, and then I got pulled back in. Damn it! But I want to be somewhere warm. I want to be somewhere warm, somewhere on the coast, on a beach somewhere.
Nope.
But you're 100% right. With everything you said about Ohio, it is that blue collar mentality. Just get shit done, and you do what you got to do. I think that's one of those things that no matter where anybody from Ohio ends up, if they leave, they all have that mentality about them, and it sticks with them. People know. I don't think we have accents here, but people have talked to me and worked with me or something, and they're like, "Are you from Ohio?" Yeah, is that bad? So, yeah, so are you now? Obviously, Nashville. I've had a lot of people on here from Nashville, and they say the worst thing to do is get hemmed up on that Broadway. Everybody thinks like Broadway's the place to be, the place to go.
Yeah.
Have you ever fallen into that snake pit the couple times you've been down that way, or?
Like in terms of like visiting it, of course, I made my runs up and down Broadway, of course. But from the musician side of things, there's no disrespect to those guys and gals, of course, but it's easy to get caught up in that, right? Because it's the place to be, and you think that's where your opportunities are gonna come. And Maybe it does, but a lot of the time, what you see is, you know, it's glorified cover bands. You know, you slip in a couple of the songs
Yeah.
that you write and that you really care about, but at the end of the day, those establishments, they want to push the covers. They want people in there knowing the songs that are being sung, and
Mhm.
it's business. It is. So for me personally, I take a lot of pride in the stuff that I write and the effort that I put into all this. Because there's just so many hours and hours and hours, just throughout the years, just pouring yourself into something. And I just feel like you really, you know, hold yourself back when you limit yourself. And I feel like the Broadway thing is very, very limiting. So yeah, for me personally, I try to stick away from that. And
Mhm.
like the writers rounds, like I was saying, like that is where you perfect your craft and you get to just show people just little bits at a time. So yeah, Broadway for me is I'll go there to have some beers, but
Yeah.
as for as for singing there, I'm all right.
You go, you want to have some beers, you want to hear the cover songs. Yeah. Yeah, that's what everybody says that I've talked to. A lot of them avoid it because they say you wind up uh doing 5-6 shows a day.
Yeah.
And 2 days in, 3 days in, you have no voice left. You can't do anything. You can't even work on your original stuff. And that's what that's been the consensus. We kind of avoid Broadway and stick to the outer line places. But um speaking of the performing and stuff, what kind of places right now for you? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming the dreams are to get to bigger shows and stuff like that. But for right
Absolutely.
now, what kind of places do you like to do your shows in? Like the smaller dive bars or honky tonks or whatever?
I mean, so with that, I'm gonna tread carefully, I guess, but I would say, for me, I like to play anywhere where there's people at that like listening to good music.
Nice.
Um, and my favorite places are the dive bars, the holes in the wall that, where there's pool tables and little smoke outside and just people trying to just have a good time. Right now, I'm, currently working like the Cleveland music scene and all the venues that we have to offer out here. Um, but my favorite place to perform right now with the given the opportunities I've been given in my hometown of Spencer, Ohio, we have a place called the White Elephant Saloon. Super small town, super small bar. Like max amount of people you're fitting in there is maybe like 150 if
Oh
you're
wow.
lucky, and that'd be short, maybe 200.
Yeah.
But going there, man, it's like you know, it's just a big hangout and everyone's having fun. And it's like you go up there, you sing your songs, and everyone's just ripping it. And then in between the, shots with people, the hanging out, the chopping it up, the look how far you've come, to the hey, how you bends, all that is, you just can't pay for stuff like that. And so for me,
Nah,
like
that's
that's my favorite, I think, what I currently have going on right now. It might always be, despite wherever life takes me. Just because it's
hey, as long as you're doing what you love and you're having fun at the end of the day, that's
yeah.
what they say. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life or something like that.
Amen.
So,
Absolutely.
and tell my bills that.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I love that. I'm a big fan of the obviously the local scene, the local music. We got a few places down here. I'm down in Central Ohio, just outside of Columbus a little bit, and we've got a few places that in the spring and summertime I absolutely love going to because you get that atmosphere. You see, the bands come down in between sets and they hang out with people and they have drinks with you or shots with you and stuff like that. And as a music fan, I love that. It makes me like the artist even more. So do you get the opportunity or do you want to do more outside of that area, outside of Cleveland?
Absolutely. And kind of speaking around the area that you're from, like I played some down in Buckeye Lake area down there.
That's where I'm
I've done
at.
a couple. Oh
I'm,
yeah, no kidding.
I'm about 15 minutes from Buckeye Lake. So I'm in Newark.
Okay. Yes, sir. So like, and that's like another great like pocket of places where there's just a lot of good
Mhm.
things, to be seen and do. You know, I mean, I've ventured out around some. Obviously, I'd love to go anywhere and everywhere and just get as many opportunities as possible. You know, I want, as much as I want people to see me, I want to see people. You know what I mean? I want to hear the stories. I want to meet people, shake the hands, have the hugs, share the memories, make moments, you know, with people, and I'm down to go anywhere, you know, wherever anybody will have me. You know, it's difficult. I'll say, you know, I'll just call it what it is, man. There's a lot of gatekeeping. There's a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh,
Everyone talks that shit like, oh, you know, we're looking for this, we're looking for this, we're looking for this, and then you say, all right, here I am. But then there's
yeah.
like criterias that have to be met, right? And in today's age, you got to have X amount of followers, or you have to know this person, or you had to have done this, and just makes it a lot harder to get the opportunities. But you know, with I think the right amount of like discipline, consistency, persistence, like, you know, it definitely pays off. But yeah, you know, it's tough to secure the stuff, but
Yeah.
the opportunities are out there, and I'm looking
Yeah,
for them as much as
yeah,
possible.
don't worry about how many followers I got or anything like that. Just let my music speak for itself. You know, at the end of the
Yeah,
day, you know, you want a live act, you want somebody that's people are going to enjoy. Well, just give a guy a shot. Not, you know, not everybody's going to
exactly.
be, you know, yeah, and that's the nice thing around like around here, and like you said, Buckeye Lake, and there's a place out there that I love, and they shut down for the winter, and I cannot wait till they open back up. It's out in that Buckeye Lake area. It's called Big Stands, and they've
Yeah,
got
I'm
a
hip big stands. Yeah,
they've got a great outdoor stage. If you get back down this way, you know I'll be there. So you
yes,
don't even have to
sir.
get back down this way. I may come up there. We already
Hey,
Robert and I are already planning a trip up to the Cleveland area. Anyways, one of the former guests on here and good friends of mine. They've become friends of mine because of the show Kissing Lilith. They're a
okay.
metal band, rock band out of Cleveland. We want to get up there to see them and hang out with them. So it's like, shit, we'll travel. I don't care. I'm always
Yeah,
down for music. But yeah, definitely. You ever get back down this way again? Shoot, I'll be there. We'll have a
I'm with
couple
it.
beers.
Yes, sir. No,
Kayla
it's a
asks,
process, man, but it's cool.
is there any one venue that is your number one for where you want to perform throughout your career, like your dream venue?
Dream venue, man. That's a great question. Fuck. Funny. Two things pop in my head. Um, Obviously, like Grand Ole Opry, right? For any country singer, you know, that's the pinnacle. You have to get the invitation. You know, it's very rich in its you know, its culture and traditions and stuff. So obviously that would be you know, like a big one. Um, but honestly, with the way that these stadium tours have been going lately, and a lot of these big acts, and you know, like shout out like Zach Bryan, like he allowed you know, an individual to come play the big house, and then he never even played in a dive bar before, but now he's
Uh,
doing big. You know, he performed at the biggest live show in the history of live shows, like superseding like Bruce Springsteen and all these other guys. Never even
yeah,
played in the dive bar, and it's
yeah.
like these opportunities are out there. So my big one, I'm trying to play in that Brown Stadium, baby. Hopefully before it goes away. But
Yeah.
that'd be my main two.
Well, that would be cool. We got a couple years to make that happen, so
Yeah,
that'll be what I'm definitely at. If you get to
yeah.
play the Brown Stadium.
We're trying. We're working on some stuff. If you know, the guy will have it and everything goes how it's supposed to, then we'll make it happen. If not, we'll catch it the next time it comes around.
Nice. Have to get me an official Mark Mason Cleveland Browns jersey.
Yes, sir. I love
Nice.
one too.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm at. I've always been against them, but I think that's where I'm at. I'm just gonna go get me a custom jersey with my name on it. You know,
No.
I could just tell people, yeah, I was one of the 75 quarterbacks since '99. You know,
Yeah. It was short lived, but I was there.
yeah, I was there. No, that would be awesome. That's you know, one of the things I love about with musicians and stuff like that when they get the opportunity to come back home, or if they get to play like for the hometown crowd, you know, you get to go back to your roots and do that performance, whether it's before you blow way up or after you blow way up, and when you're able to come back home, that's always a cool thing when you see that. It's just like, hell yeah, yeah, that's cool.
Absolutely.
No, I'm all about the live music and what you're describing. You know, that experience as a fan when you go see someone in a dive bar or a smaller establishment and they're down to hang out with you. They don't come up and like do their music and then go hide in their camper or backstage or whatever. Like that just makes that experience. And as a fan, you become more of a fan when you get to have that experience with them.
Yeah.
You go, oh yeah, it's just a real dude. You know?
Yeah. Hey, we've all heard, people saying, "Oh, I seen them when," or "I knew them before." One time I was at this small place and then I got to see this person, and later on they became this thing. And it was like, if you set the tone and make real connections, you can be something, a cool story for people in their lives. And just, when they feel connected like that, it holds way more weight than you realize. So, me, I'm just super big on personal connections. I don't care what it is. If it's a random conversation on a sidewalk with just a stranger, or talking to people I love, like anything in between, like I'm just always trying to make some type of connection, and it tends to go a long way.
No, yeah, and I got I got to give you props because doing this, I mean, I've had those interactions like you said, where some venues are like, oh, you don't have X amount of followers, where I'll reach out to an artist and either they won't respond, which is whatever, or they'll respond and they'll go, I mean, you only have like 1,000 followers on Instagram. Okay, well, I don't know what that means, but all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you only have 2,000 followers. What are we doing here? And then it just kind of sets the tone. But like I reached out to you and you're like, hell, I'll do it tonight. Like, which worked out because the guest that I had booked that night wound up ghosting me. I just didn't. I'm like, he had some other things that popped up and he wound up triple booking himself, and I'm like, it happens, dude, whatever. I'm not mad at him. He did reach out to me the next day and whatnot, but I was just like, oh man, if I'd have known this was going to happen, I could have work on. But yeah, you were quick to respond, and that's cool. Even and I thrive on the independent scene and the local guys. Like do I have artists that I would absolutely love to get on this show? Yeah, but that's not what this show's about. This show's about you guys that are still out there grinding and putting in the hours and traveling up and down the road and doing their thing.
And that and there's something to be said about that. The best way to like bring all of what you're saying together there is the paying your dues aspect. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in. When you're in the thick of that shit, you're grinding, like you're paying your dues, man. And it's a dying art, because of how shit is today, right? You got one interview that does well on a sidewalk, all of a sudden you're a journalist, or you have one TikTok do great, and then all of a sudden you're never played on stage and you're expected to go out there and play a stadium, and it's just like things can move so fast, and everyone wants that meal ticket, man, that golden ticket to say, all right, I'm going to the factory and we're good now. Like, sure, sounds nice, but I think when you work hard for the things that you're going after in life, the sweeter the fruit once you get it. It's just like, you earned it. And that's my thing. I know my story is not going to be a overnight thing, and that's fine. I don't want to be, you know what I mean? Just like how I love being from Ohio, I want to be from nowhere else. You know what I mean? I know an idea of what, how this is going to go for me, and I'm signed up for it. That's my mother right there. Buffalo Lake is where I played in Buckeye Lake.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know that I've ever been there, but Mom, Mama's got you locked down. She's like, I got you. I know where you were.
But yeah, the pay your dues aspect, though, man, it's important, and I think more people should have the mentality of being ready to pay your dues. Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier when you're not, you got to think about it. You just are doing it.
Yeah, there's something to be said though, like when you earn something, and it's not, it doesn't just fall in your lap. Like you said, man, somebody drops a 15-second TikTok video, and now all of a sudden they're the next biggest rapper or whatever, and they can't rap a lick. They can't write. It's just like, really, you got a beat and a hook that caught on, but now you have nothing. But when you grind it out and you bust your ass and you start at the bottom, and when you finally reach that point, whether it's superstardom or just reaching that point where you're happy and you're comfortable wherever you put success at, it makes it that much better and it's so much sweeter.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's and your definition of success, it changes, right?
Mhm.
You set your short-term goals and then you work toward them, and then you end up getting them, and that's like, okay, then you start pushing it back a little further and back a little further. But yeah, as long as you're happy with what you're doing, you can't go wrong.
Like these guys, I've been doing this show so long, I don't even have to ask questions anymore because the chat already knows where I'm going to go.
It's a collaborative bucket list.
Yeah.
Shit, man. Honestly, I'm weird about the collaborations, but of course, there's people I'd love to collaborate with. I like Darius Rucker. Like, I think that'd be like all time pretty cool, and I know he's always open to work with people. Chris Stapleton would be something that'd be unique.
Oh,
Man, I'm trying to think who else I really like. Really
you
like.
look,
I gotta.
Chris Stapleton. Don't even look at the songs he's sung. Go ahead and if you guys don't know, Chris Stapleton was a very well-known, very popular, very famous songwriter before he started singing them songs. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I got a good one. Cassius Culpepper. This dude is from Alabama. I don't want to be mistaken, but he's phenomenal, man.
I've heard
Phenomenal.
that
name. Like, if you haven't, check him out. That's right up there. He's actually coming up to a place out here in Lakewood, as a matter of fact, in the upcoming months. I think April, and I'm trying like hell to open for him, man. And if not, I'm gonna be in the crowd watching because I'm a fan, and I think he's great. So there's that right there. I think is a solid good 3 that I would like to work with at one point in time.
And Darius Rucker, from everything you hear, he sounds like a phenomenal guy. My ex-wife and my kids got to meet him. We used to live down in Charleston, where he's from, and I was mad because I'm a huge fan. And my ex-wife said that he was the nicest guy in the world. My kids knew who he was because I listened to his music. Said he was great. Said he was as friendly as could be. Him and his family were in the mall, and actually one of my daughters approached him first, and he stopped what he was doing and talked to him and chatted with him and hung out with him and said he was an absolute genuine guy. And I was like, of course, the day I'm not with you.
right. Yep. That's how it
goes. When I appreciate it, Scorpio, and I've seen that too. That's the whole point, man. Hopefully you guys are checking out all these artists and showing them some love.
Absolutely. Yeah, there we go. We got one going, baby. That's true.
He's down in her neck. He's down in her neck of the woods.
Okay. Yeah, he's a man.
When you're doing like trying to set up gigs or pursuing, like you said, you would love to open for him. Like, is that just a constant being a pain in the ass and bugging these venues or blowing up the artist or their management team, and just until they finally tell you to go fuck yourself?
Yeah, pretty much, man. It's like, a lot of persistence. You definitely you got to put the pressure on these people, and a lot of it's like, you try to set yourself apart, or whatever you can do to try to grab the attention. The gatekeeping shit, it's real heavy, so it really holds you back. But if you allow those things to like discourage you, like, you're never gonna fucking do nothing, man. So it's like, I don't care. I'll email you 150 times the venue I want to work, all this stuff, because to me, I don't care what your interpretation of it is. If you think I'm an annoying asshole and you want me to go fuck off, fine, fuck yourself. That's cool.
Yeah.
But me, I'm driven with passion, and I want to do these things. I don't want to play this place because I'm like, oh, it's gonna make me look good. I want to play these things because I want to play it. Like, I want to play in front of people. I want the opportunity to prove me right. And that, and not only myself, because that almost sounds arrogant, but like all the people that believe in me and follow my journey and listen to my stuff, take time out of their day to try to connect with me. I want to prove them right too, because they believe in me and they believe in the success that I could potentially have. So, just like relentlessness. Like, I'm emailing, I'm calling, I'm doing whatever it takes to, make it stick, because I'm not I'm not the only one. And if I'm the only one and they're mad that I'm the only one, then that's their
Yeah.
loss, you know,
Yeah,
and
sorry
someone
about
else will
your
give
luck.
me an opportunity, you know.
You,
But
you,
yeah,
yeah, you see how much time and energy I'm putting in to play at your venue? Imagine what I'm going to bring when I get to the opportunity. If you give me the opportunity, as I'm gonna tread lightly because my chat likes to bully me with this next comment. But as an entertainer, you have to have a sense of arrogance or ego. You have, I mean, you have to believe in yourself more than anybody else does. And sometimes that does come off egotistical
yeah,
or arrogant, but I mean, there's a right way and a wrong way to go about it. So, there's nothing wrong with, yeah, I'm that good that I can play your venue, you know?
yeah,
And if I suck, well, then tell me I suck at the end of the night and tell me
yeah,
I can never come back. But at least I got the shot,
yeah. And
So,
honestly, like, you know, a lot of it, you know, I won't be ignorant to the fact that yes, do they care about followers and all this other bullshit? Sure. But at the end of the day, business is business, right? What are all businesses built to go around with? That's money, right? You got to be able to bring in a crowd. You got to be able to be a great performer. There's a lot of things that come in, you know, into play with it. So, you know, I'm not ignorant to those things, but at the end of the day, right, you got to be given an opportunity to build those foundations. You
yeah.
have to be given a chance to make these people fans so they come back. If you know, like one, I'm like pulling off the top of my head, like random venue we have out here, Globe Iron, right? If I was given a lucky opportunity to perform at Globe Iron one time for a big act, and they go, you know, say 300 people were in there, more, but 300 people were there. Law of averages says I'm gonna get a couple. You know,
Mhm.
say at least 50 people are like, hey, I actually really liked him. The next time that he plays at Globe Iron, you can guarantee that 50 of us are going to be there. Like,
Yeah.
and that's how it goes, you know. Um, but you got to be given the opportunities, and um,
Mhm.
you know, but that's the process, you know. But I'm willing to work the process, whatever it takes, you know,
Yeah,
whatever it takes
exactly.
to do what you got to do and get to where you want to be.
Yeah, and being an outsider looking in, just a fan, I think just as much, maybe probably not as much, but it goes on to the venue too. Like if you're going to have an act there, you got to market it. You got to put it out there. You got to sell. You got to believe in that act as much as they believe in themselves,
Yeah,
because it's not just up to you to fill a house. I mean, we've got a venue down the road, West Church Social, man, and they are great marketers, promoters. I mean, there's been bands in there that I ain't never even heard of,
yeah,
and like, oh, all right, what's going on here? Let me go check them out. And then I go check out their social, and it's like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go see these guys. And you show up there, and they don't necessarily have the biggest social media following or whatever, but you show up there and it's a packed house. And this is
yeah,
it's not necessarily a small place. It's not a giant place either, but you can probably get a few hundred people in there packed out. And
yeah,
that's if it's in the wintertime. If it's in the summertime and they open up their bay doors and stuff like that, you're gonna get some more in there as well. So
mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, if you're gonna give somebody a chance, you definitely gotta push them, just as much as they're gonna push themselves. So
Yes,
because like
I
you
couldn't
said, at
agree
the end of the
anymore.
day, it's all about money. Everybody wants to earn a buck, especially those business owners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I respect it. Don't mean I like it, but I respect it.
um, how long have you been doing the music? Is it something you've always wanted to do, or did you just wake up one day and go, I think I'm a
Um,
pretty damn good singer. I should try this.
Man, honestly, funny enough, I really wasn't like I liked music like growing up and stuff. You know, I was like one of my biggest influences would be my mother. You know, growing up, like we loved camping, so they would always, you know, play guitar and stuff around a campfire and whatnot. And you know, they definitely left some type of impression that would later on, you know, come to do a little more to me than I thought it would at the time. But yeah, initially I'd went to school. You know, I graduated during like the COVID years, so I kind of like fucked shit up for that like next, you know, 2 years in terms of like the educational system and
Yeah.
being able to kind of get through everything smooth. But I went to school out here for audio engineering, music production, and so they say that you're not a real music producer if you like don't know an instrument. And I'm like, all right, that makes enough sense. And I always kind of liked guitar, so I'm like painting houses and stuff at the time. I'm like, today I'm gonna go buy a guitar. And I was living with my girlfriend and her family there for a bit, so I had like a little small like walk-in closet that I like snuck a little chair and stuff in there, and I just would like practice all the time, all the time, all the time. And honestly, I can truthfully say like consistently since probably 22, from 22 till now, I started in this little closet playing, and I've played every single day since, and just worked at it. And my mother, she always said that she liked when I sang country music. I never really took myself for much of a singer. But that's when I start, getting the confidence. Once you put a couple little things together and you try some shit, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, now I got enough balls to sing. But then it's like, I think the singing comes solely from confidence, and then obviously like building the skill set. So I would say I really wasn't even worth the shit until probably a year ago or so, but just a lot of work put into it, man. And even when you show some people some stuff and you're like, what do you think? And they're like, you ever thought about getting singing lessons? And you're like, well, fuck, you didn't say nothing about the song. You like the song or what, man? And so those little things motivate you, and they stack up. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, fuck this, I do got this. I'm just going to invest as much time as humanly possible into trying to get better at this, to now get to the point where I'm able to put out some really good releases that I'm really proud of. But it's been a lot of things added into it, but like it's pretty short period of time, but just under like 5 years, 4 years, something like that. Which seems like a lot of people start getting into it about 4 years, but I wasn't riding a train of this is what everyone else is doing. It just so happened to be where like life was navigating me at that period of time and led me to the music.
Yeah, you just got just purely by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, I can dig that though. I mean, a lot of people, you think you're gonna go one way in life, and then it's just like life says, no, we're gonna try something a little different for you.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, at that period of time, if you would have told me that some nice individual would be wanting to interview you about your music and just kick and talk about stuff, and be like, yeah, fucking right, you know what I mean? But that's like, oh, like enough random shit stacks up, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, cool opportunities start presenting themselves. You just gotta walk through the door sometimes and see what's on the other side of it.
I don't know if you assholes caught that or not, but he said nice. He called me nice. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, man. Like I said, I'm digging your music, and that's the crazy thing with social media. I say it every show. I say it literally every show. It is a double-edged sword. It's a necessary evil for any form of entertainer, no matter what you're doing. But it'll put you right where you need to be. And I love my Instagram algorithm because I can scroll through and I get all my people I follow, and I'm able to see what they're doing and everything. But it throws in random people, and my algorithm right now is very music heavy, very local, very independent heavy. A lot of great musicians pop up on my feed, yourself as well. And it's like, ooh, you just get that little snippet, and then it forces you to, well, let me go see what they're doing on YouTube or Spotify or on TikTok, where I want to hear more. I don't want to hear 15 seconds or 30 seconds or, however long you get. I want to hear more. And then I'm able to, like, especially if there's a YouTube channel or Spotify, I'm able to go and I'm able to listen to more. Damn. Okay. And now I'm a fan. And then I shoot that shot and go, well, I got 50-50 chance. I'm either going to get a yes or a no. And it's so hard to get a reading from some people just through text. That's why I always open the door a little bit early and go, if you want to come in, you can. I'll be in the studio fucking off. You don't have to come in and then start cold. But a lot of people, man, for the most part, everybody's super cool. And, like you were eager right now. Let's do it. Let's get on here. I had a gentleman that I interviewed a couple of weeks back, Austin Lindstrom. And he a little bit bigger following. I didn't think he'd even reach out to me in less than 5 minutes. I was like, well, I got an opening this day, this day, and this day. He said, first one available. Let's just rock and roll. Let's do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So I like that. I like that energy, and you had the same energy. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to get him on as quick as I can.
Yes, sir. Very appreciative.
Yeah. What's going on, Daniel? So either you have a dog or you have a ghost in your house.
Probably both. No, I got 2 dogs. They're running around here somewhere.
I keep seeing like a little figure going back behind you, and I was like, I don't mean to freak you out, Mark, but I think you're haunted.
I would not be surprised.
No, so you were saying like one of your biggest influences, like going camping and being around. I don't know if that's a country thing, like a country bumpkin thing, or an Ohio thing, because maybe it's a Midwest thing. Because you get outside of the Midwest, people look at you crazy when you talk about sitting around a bonfire. And we used to do it back home. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, and it never failed. Somebody had a guitar out. Outside of the family and stuff, are there any artists that you really kind of look up to, or kind of try to bend your style to be like? Or
I mean, honestly, really not. Like, not no one really. No, it was very like musically inclined per se. For me, at least in terms of like anything like that, to where I could like, be inspired by them. Really like really, I'm just kind of like the first of my kind of it. Trying to take some stabs at some shit like this. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's so crazy. Like, especially like when someone puts it to you like that, like, oh, like, where does it really come from? And you're like, well, I kind of don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so many like little things that just stack up that it's hard to like pinpoint like one major thing. Fuck no, yeah, no family really. Like, yeah, no family that was ever into the music like that, or friends or anything like that. Just like my mom, like like some country music, playing some guitar and stuff. That's about it. Like, and even then, she liked her cover songs and stuff. Like, she still plays and whatnot. But
nice.
it was kind of just, I don't know, random dream that just hit me one time. Well, I'll say this. Here's a good influence, at least. So when I was in high school, I had a guidance counselor sit me down. They do like the whole career thing, like, oh, like, what do you fucking want to do? You're like, where do you want to go to college? Yada, yada. And I'm like, well, I'm like, I've cut hair since I was like 12, because my mom would mess up my haircut, or barber would mess up my haircut, and I always get so pissed. I'm like, I'll start cutting it myself. I'll never mess it up again.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm going to go to barber school. That was like my fail-safe option. And then she asked me, I think maybe the most important question that anyone's ever asked me, and I think it changed the whole course of my life right after that. She's like, what do you want to do? And I say, well, barber school, yeah. She's like, but I'd love to do music. And she's like, which one do you want to do more? Like, gun your head, you got to choose. I'm like, music. She's like, okay, fuck barber school. You will never go to barber school in your life.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, no plan B, 100% on your plan A. You want to do music, figure it out. And I'm like, okay. And that kind of set the pace and the tone for like the direction that I'm going to start leaning in towards, just bit by bit. And I still, from that moment, it still didn't really buy into it all until a couple years later. But at that period of time, I'm like, yeah, like, you're right. And then as time goes on, like, that statement in that moment just, kept coming back in my head, leave for a little bit, come back in my head. And then all of a sudden it starts coming back in my head, not leaving. And then just, it's there every day. And it's like, I can't ignore this. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta lean into it. So I would say that would probably be like my most like influential moment that would like lead me into really diving in at it.
Yeah, you reached there.
I know I veered around a lot, but
no, you're that's my kind of guy. Yeah, I do. I'm guilty of that stuff too. You asked me a question, I'm going to give you a 20-minute answer that I could have just. No, man, you reached that point of stop talking about it, and it's time to be about it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's what happened. It was enough talking about it, now just pull the trigger and do it and see what happens.
Yeah.
No, that, like I said, I've become a fan. I was struggling tonight. I was trying to pick a song that I was like, I only need 2 songs. I wound up downloading 4 of them, I think, but I can play those elsewhere. That gives me, um, I would like, and maybe it's out there and I just haven't found it yet. You got like a little, you do some of the, I wouldn't say necessarily ballads or like sad, sappy, but you got like a slower, beat in your music. I kind of want to hear you like rock the fuck out.
Yeah. So it's funny. So when I play shows, I'm a very hype individual, and it's funny because I want to connect and I write these songs about my feelings and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I'll sing something that, in my head, I'm like, oh, this will probably make people feel something, like make me want to tear up. And like right in between that, anybody that's ever seen me play, they know I'm like, fucking woo, yeah, like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. It's so funny. It's like such a yin yang. Like I'll probably get fucking banned from the first place I really turn it up on them. But I do have some things that are a little more aggressive for sure.
Nice.
Right now I'm working, because I was primarily like solo acoustic, and I'm making do with that. And I enjoy that sound. I enjoy that style of music. But lately, I started incorporating a drummer, a good buddy of mine, that's come in, and in the jam sessions, you find out a lot about yourself.
Oh yeah.
And we play like not even like specific songs, but you start going through things and you start kind of like identifying with these different genres, and it's like, you get your blues, kind of jazzy funk stuff. You get a little like bluegrass remnants, a little rock, rockabilly kind of shit, and then just kind of all over the place. But yeah, I definitely got some shit brewing up right now. I got a couple unreleased things that are real in your face and fucking get you want to get up, maybe punch somebody, and I'm excited about it. So I hope I'm able to deliver. But yeah, I got something in there. I got the sappy side and the aggressive side, and it's finding that happy balance for sure.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm an absolute sucker for a sappy country song, getting your feels, man. I'm sitting on the porch drinking a beer, like contemplating my life and my life decisions.
Yeah.
Like I love that stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, this guy's got to have more in him than just I want to see him like kick a speaker off stage or a mosh pit, go from one of your sappy songs. And the next thing you know, there's a mosh pit down in front of the stage.
Absolutely. It's funny, like looking at me, like most people like probably would not assume I'm like that in tune with my feelings and shit. They probably would immediately assume that I'm like way more aggressive off that. But yeah, I just like, those are the things that kind of like, I don't know, like conveying my feelings and stuff like that is what kind of built it and started it for me. And now that I've gotten the rest with writing the songs and playing with different chord progressions and stuff, I definitely think I've been able to find a good space for each type of thing. And now it's just bringing it to people. But I got a show coming up on March 27th at Dunlap's Corner Bar in Cleveland, and I'm real excited about it. I think we're gonna bring some stuff to the table that people maybe haven't heard before from me, and I think I'm gonna nail it on the head with the kind of stuff you're talking about. A little bit of everything,
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So, yeah.
No, that's great. And for you personally, and you're still new into this. You're still coming up. Is it and you're starting to venture out? Is it easier to write songs, that are more from your feelings and more what you're feeling, as opposed to trying to just write a random song, kick-ass song? Or
I mean, I think it all depends. Like, so like my writing process, I think it was Johnny Cash that said it one time. But they talk about like Nashville's real known for like writing sessions and shit, and everyone just goes and sits in a room like, okay, here's the story. This is what we're gonna write about. This is how it's gonna go. Me, it's not how I operate. Not even close. That's why I really don't write with a lot of people. I'm real like spur of the moment, like say something, like, oh fuck, all right, I like that. and then I go and try to make something out of it. Or if I'm playing with some chord progressions, and all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, I like that. So then I can kind of start, leaning on like memories, experiences, not only just my own, other people. I'm a bartender, like my regular job, and I talk to so many people and hear so many different stories all the time, and I'm able to kind of pluck from all of their things and add it into my own. I think it's easy. It's easy to write a corny song. You know what I mean? Like 100%, like very stereotypical type of stuff. Like I think anybody can talk about a rager and drinking beer and fucking kicking up mud and all that shit. Like 100%. I think that's easy as it gets, but it's like, I feel like you got to really like what you're saying. And I just, like, for example, the things that are like a little more pick me up and stuff, like still a lot of realism to them. And maybe just, you can toe dip in the stereotypical stuff, but you can't just fully fall in love with it, or else you don't make no more connections, But yeah, I think it's definitely easier to write from experiences than it is to kind of just make something up that you're going to keep and ultimately show people. Like I've written so many songs that are of that nature, to where it's like, yeah, fucking having a good time and fucking hanging out and doing cool shit and all that stuff. And it's like, they're all right, but those aren't the ones that are like, when you show someone that one and then you show someone that maybe is a similar vibe, but is like a little more like attention to detail, 10 times out of 10, they always like that one more than the other one. So it kind of shapes the way you start thinking about it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's very situational. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, no, I mean, as a music fan, and this is something that I miss in music today, and you guys, and I say you guys, the local scene, the independent writers and whatnot, I miss the storytellers. We don't get that a lot in mainstream music anymore. It's just, 10 people go write a song that's gonna pop on the radio or pop on TikTok or wherever. It's catchy. There's no substance to it, and you guys are telling stories again.
Absolutely.
And that's, again, maybe it's because I'm old. I mean, I'm gonna be 45 this year, so I'm old. But I miss the stories. I miss the things that I can relate to. Like, oh yeah, man, I remember that one time that girl broke up with me and how I was feeling, and and I couldn't really express it. But this guy, I don't even know who he is. He hit it right on the head.
No.
So I got to ask you. You said you're a bartender. This is kind of my little squirrel moment. Allow my ADHD here to.
Sure.
Being a bartender, what you hear at a bar stool, did that kind of inspire that in any way?
Absolutely, 110%. My actual first opportunity I got in Nashville was to play on this podcast called the Playlist Podcast at the Greenlight Bar out there, and basically, I a couple of my regulars, just tell me kind of their life stories, and then I talked about it on that briefly, but I was like laying in bed the night I wrote that. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, about to go to sleep. And the lyrics of the start of that song was like 60 years of loving hard till God called one of them home. Bless you. It was like, I opened my eyes and I'm like, I got to go write this shit like right now. And I did. I wrote that song in like probably like 5 minutes. And it was just like solely based off of that. And that is actually what I was referencing when I was saying, I take it from everyone's experiences and stuff and kind of, turn it into something. So heavily influenced off that.
Nice. I like that one. That's a good one. Again, like you said, man, bartenders hear all the stories because you're a uncertified therapist at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working in a dive bar or a smaller bar or hole in the wall type place, you're going to hear all the stories, whether you want to or not. So no, that's awesome. You have are you going to follow kind of the I would just call it social media it seems like a lot of the artists are using social media to their advantage, and you don't see a lot of albums anymore. You're seeing more like, I'm going to release a song, I'm going to hype it up for a month or two, and then I'm going to start hyping up a new song, building up to that. Are you going to follow that? Are you wanting to hopefully do a album or anything like that in the future, in the near future?
Yeah, I definitely would like to do an album. For me, I think it's about building though like the foundational fan base. Um, having people, really like what you're doing and connect with you, and then ultimately rewarding them for the patience and sticking with it, and
Yeah.
sticking with you. And that to me is that, giving them the album. Um, Personally, I want to take a different route. And woo, you find success with it though, all across the way with people being like, um, Gavin Adcock's like a big one right now. He just floods it, floods it, floods it, floods
Yeah.
it. And I like that method a lot more. Just due to the fact that there can be something for everybody. Like if they don't like 1 through 10, they might like your, 11 to 25 or whatever. Like, so for me, I think just putting stuff out consistently until I got enough people that I just am ready to give them that whole, thing. But it's just weird because like to put together an album requires so much time, money, effort, and all these different things. Not that it's not like warranted, but you want to make sure that like you're getting like a ROI, like 100%. Like it's not about like money when I say that either. It's about like all that work you put in. You hope that people can connect with it, and it's like when you just put it out into the void, it's like what was that all for, So I don't want to fall trap to that, but in due time, I think pepper some stuff out, maybe like a 4 or 5 song like EP kind of thing, and then I think be ready for an album, and then take some of the favorites that people have liked over the course of time, mix it with some newer stuff we're working on, and then get laid out like that. But yeah, I think just it's about controlling the pace for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it seems. I mean, again, that's where it goes back to the social media being the necessary evil, man. You want, and I agree 100%. Obviously, you want to make sure that the the demand is out there before you put this, before you put anything out there. I mean, it's like something as simple as merch. Why am I going to go have 100 shirts made when I'm going to wind up giving away 75 of them, and then I might sell 25 of them. I'm not getting, like I just wasted all that money. How am I going to get that money back? I mean, it's, ultimately, at the end of the day, everybody, you want to make money off this, so everything can't be free. So, no, that's cool. I had something else I was going to ask you, and it totally slipped my mind. Again, school, ADHD. For you, just starting and coming up and whatnot, are you finding it difficult with social media, or you're a younger guy, so you're of that generation where it kind of comes natural? But are you finding the struggle to be almost painful at times with hitting the right algorithms and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a grind in itself for sure. I'm not the biggest with the social media stuff, honestly. And I think for a while there, maybe it was like to my own detriment, but we invested some time and money into some, good content stuff for like my most like recent release, but it just came out on 28th, like All You Bring. I flew out to Dallas, Texas, and I filmed with pretty reputable guys, Southbound Sessions there, and I just wanted to have some stuff that was like super clean and just guys who are really about their business. To be able to kind of start making sure that I'm on top of those things, because that is a recipe for success. Making sure that you have good, clean content for these people to be able to find you. First and foremost. Because that's like the biggest thing. It is a tool for us, no doubt about that. And the better you get with your tools, the more stuff you're able to build.
Oh yeah.
So definitely, it's a struggle, but I think it's the same as anything else. As long as you have like the right amount of consistency, you're gonna reap the benefits for sure.
So, for you personally, are you the type where you're your own worst critic?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
do you ever go back and listen to some of your older stuff or watch some of your older videos and go, "The fuck was I thinking?"
All the time, all the time. But that's the beauty of it, right? So that philosophy right there of looking back and being like, what the fuck, that I think allows you to have that growth. So for me, like I like self-produced like a lot of like all of the releases I have out, I self-produce them all. Besides three. Three were done in studio. And I've left them all on there. I didn't take nothing down. And same with like all the videos that I put out because I think that people that just present themselves like, oh, I've just always been this good or full of shit.
Yeah.
And I don't trust the fucking snake oil salesman personally.
Yeah,
I
right?
think I think there's something to be said about, hey, this is where I started. And I'd like to be proof that as long as you work hard at something enough and you have like the passion and the drive to keep doing it, you can get better. Um, so for me, it's like I look back and I say, fuck, man, I hate that right there. But that moment in time was better than it was 6 months before that.
Mhm.
So really, they're just timestamps to me of progress. Um, and that's what they'll continue to be for me, for my whole entire career.
Yeah, being able to recognize that growth and see how you mature as an artist, and that's something for me as a fan when doing this show is seeing people like going back and diving into the music and listen to some older stuff and then listen to the new stuff and then even stuff that comes after they've been on
Yeah.
been here and I still follow and whatnot. It's really cool to see that growth and see that almost maturity, and the music changes too.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
starts to change a lot. People I've been asked before, like, why don't you take down your like when you guys first got started doing the original show? And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why would I? Do we look like assholes? Yeah. Clearly we have no idea what the hell we're doing. But look at that then and look what we're doing now. And I'm still an asshole, but and I
Sure.
still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gotten better at it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you
No.
think about it too, right? That first time that you were doing that stuff, like, and coming up with the idea of it all, like, you were so fucking excited. I guarantee you were like, this is fucking sweet. This is probably the coolest shit that I've ever done. And it might be the coolest shit I ever do. But then all of a sudden, right, that finish line moves back just a little more, the little
Yeah.
closer you get to it, you know what I mean? And I think that's the coolest part of it, like 100%. Yeah, so never take that shit down, ever.
Yeah, no, that's just gonna be on the. I would like to say that we'll never run for a political office. However, times are changing, and
Yeah.
there's some shit on there that's crazy. But no, getting up on stage and being a performer, and I always ask this because, believe it or not, I don't do public speaking. I'm absolutely terrified of it. Which is wild considering. But for you, what was that first time like that you got up on stage and was in front of a crowd?
Yeah, so funny enough, the first time I like ever actually like grabbed a mic and like said anything in front of anybody. Like I liked like rapping, like me and my buddies would always like freestyle rap and a bunch of stuff together. And some of my buddies say I'm still pretty nice at it, but I took a genre change, I suppose is what they say. But the first time, some little rap songs that I come up with, I just I did it. It was like the worst show of all time. And I was like real nervous before it, but I found like strength with like my family members and stuff and just like got confidence from them. And it was so bad, dude. I'm talking like my sister was holding the phone up to a microphone and I'm rapping, and then I get done with the first one, and she's like, all right, thanks everybody. Have a good night. And I'm like, bitch, I got 2 more songs to do. What are you doing? And it was just like it was a train wreck top to bottom. but it was really fun and like a very big learning moment for me. You know, and now like the way like it transitions, like in terms of like the nerves, to like get specific on like what you're asking. Um, I was a football player and like I'd like return kicks and like a bunch of different stuff like that. And I always had like the pregame butterflies and the jitters and be like
Yeah.
so nervous sometimes you almost feel like you could puke and stuff. But then it's like I remember I would be standing there about to return a kick, balls flying through there, and I'm nervous as shit, nervous as shit. Oh fuck, that ball's coming right at me. As soon as I hit my hands, it's like a flip switches and or yeah, switch flips, and I'm like ready to go. And that's kind of how it works now. Like, you know, I always tell my like buddies like the day I have shows, I like get the bubble guts some shit and like you know, like all day I'm all nervous. But that's like as soon as it's time, you know, for game time, I lock in, I'm ready to go. I'm in my element. I know I'm supposed to be there. And you know, your nerves kind of dwindle away when you know that your preparation is where you want it to be. So you know, those first couple times that I was getting ready and going up, I was really, really nervous. My preparation wasn't all the way there. And the first time I like really did a show as like country singer and stuff, like that's what I'll say like my first like real show was. It was at the 27 Club owned by a Machine Gun Kelly in Cleveland, his coffee shop. And it was a sold out show. It was cool. These guys gave me an opportunity and found me. And I was so nervous like leading up to it, but I knew I just put in so much work that it was like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna rely on all this hard work that I put in. Fuck whatever the result is, I'm gonna give it everything I got. And I think it went really well, and that's kind of set the tone in every other little aspect I've done. So now I don't get as nervous I'm not nervous at all when it comes to getting up there. I just, you know, you turn into that alternate personality that we all got, the showman, you know, and they all kind of just fade away until you get done and it comes back, and then you're like, motherfucker, dude, what was that? You know, you're like, man, real you goes back in reality. You're like, what just happened? What was that?
Yeah,
was that good? Did anybody like that? Yeah. And then it's all smooth after the fact, but it's just mental. It's a mental thing. That's all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that. When when I first started doing podcasting was one thing, doing like live streaming is something that I've been doing for a real long time. But to actually do the quote unquote, not just turning the camera on and throwing shit at a wall and whatever happens, but to start doing content, man, I was so thankful and blessed that the first time I did an interview on this show, it was one of my best friends, like a brother to me. He's a musician and everything. So it was easy. I was like, oh, that isn't so hard. And then I interviewed my first musician that I had no idea who they were. And it was just like leading up to the show, I was so nervous. I was like, I'm going to be an ass. I'm going to sound and look stupid. And dude, I get that, man. And now it's just like cameras on, lights are on. Let's rock and roll. But I've had one experience on stage and I was so fucking nervous. And everybody was hyping me up. I got to MC one of the bands that were on this show. The Southern Outlaws band there by Champion, Miles, somewhere up there. And I opened my big fat mouth and, well, they called me out on it and I wound up MCing. I thought I was going to throw up, dude, you know, the whole time. And they're like, you're going to be fine. As soon as that mic was in my hand, I did my thing. And like you said, after I got done, I'm down there going, what the fuck just happened? No. But at the same time, and I'm sure you get this, and tell me if I'm wrong, it was such an adrenaline rush, and it was a high that I've never felt before. You know, all I do is drink alcohol. I don't do anything else. But it was such a high that I've never felt before that I wanted to do it again.
Yep.
But at the same time, I was like, no, dummy, you don't get up in front of people and talk. do you get that feeling? Like when you get done doing a show, do you have that like adrenaline rush, adrenaline high?
Oh yeah. And like for me, you know, I always stem to like the adrenaline rush. I felt like playing football. You know, and I reference football a lot because you know it really helped shape me like as a man and you know set like a lot of like foundational stuff for me. And you know that mentality, it was like a high that you know that's why it's so sad when you have your last games and stuff, because that feeling that you feel like when you're going to do that, man, it weathers away. So the second closest thing I found to it is being a performer and stuff and getting up there, and it's like I'm rolling like as high as I could ever be from the start to the finish. And then honestly, when you get done, it's almost like a weight is just dropped off your shoulders officially, because you're just like, man, all that preparation leading up to it, the nerves and all that stuff. Then you go up there, be as vulnerable as possible, let that shit bang, and afterwards you're just like, I'm the man, and that I'm so glad is over. Now let's just hang out with everybody. You know, it's definitely, it's, you don't get it at your 9 to 5, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. No, I can't walk around my 9 to 5 like a rock star.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going home. I'm going home today after work, and I'm going to hang out with so and so because I'm a podcaster. Shut up, nobody cares. Like, oh, thanks. Are you still trying? You said you're a hype. Yeah, obviously, I could tell. Like you're a hyped individual. You hype up. Are you still trying to find your stage presence, or is that something that you've already kind of locked in and kind of started to hone?
Yeah, honestly, I think initially I definitely lacked the stage presence, you know, because the nerves, right? They come into play, and you start kind of getting statuesque, and you're thinking like, man, like, all right, I gotta sing the songs right, I gotta play the chords right, and hope I don't mess them up. And then if you mess them up, hurry, just kind of keep going like it didn't happen and stuff. And I think just like with the repetition of doing everything, I've gotten a lot better with it. Now I feel in my element. I think I know what I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it. I know how to get the crowd involved now, you know, because that's who you're playing to, right? And it's easy to go up there and sing your songs and be like, all right, guys, well, you know, I'm singing this next song, and hope you like it and whatnot. You know what I mean? It's just like, you gotta have it. It's like essential, you know, that's the entertainment aspect of, you know, the performance, right? So I think now I'm really dialed in with it, but you know, at first it was definitely tough because, you know, you're already doing so much vulnerable shit. You think in your head, you're like, fuck. But then you're like, it's just one more thing that's also, so fuck it. If we're going to do a little bit of it, might as well do all of it. Just go all out, you know? So it's gotten better with time, that's for sure. And only going to continue to get better.
Yeah, again, that goes back to the whole growth thing. You know, that's worst case scenario. They're going to boo you off stage. You know, at the end of the day, worst case scenario, right? Which nobody wants that anyway. But hey, what's going on, Sick? Yeah, he said music is key to the soul. Yeah, it is.
Yes, sir.
Right there. I know you said you started playing with the drummer. Are you wanting to have a full band behind you at some point? Is that something you've thought about, or maybe even started looking into?
Yeah. It just adds, you know, the more elements you add to it, you know, the more complete things kind of come out. You know, me personally, like, I mean, if I could reach the levels of success in which I'd like to have, just, you know, solely just me and a guitar, like, sure, because I think like simple sells and whatnot. But and I'm a simple dude, like,
yeah.
But then once you start playing with other people and jamming and stuff, and like even going seeing the shows, man, it's so electric, right? That's the thing. Why I really want to lean into it, because I play a lot of shows out here, and it's, you know, I'll be on there with rappers and, you know, R&B singers, and, you know, few and far between like country folk guys, a lot of rock bands, you know, Cleveland, you know, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like it's birthplace of it all. And so it's still heavy out here, like heavy metal, grunge, like, and they put on these wicked performances, and then here I am. I like to think of it as like a breath of fresh air, right?
Yeah.
Only when met with those circumstances, right? That difference is good. But say we're all similar and I'm on like a true blue country bill, that element might not be there, you know? So might as well, again, have as many tools at your disposal as possible. So that way you're able to do better shows and resonate with people even better. So I definitely would like to find balance with it, incorporate it, but not fall in love with it, you know?
You almost sound like on one of those shows where, like, with the heavy metal and rap and R&B, you almost sound like, yeah, I'm gonna come out here with my guitar. I'm a little palate cleanser for you, you know.
Yeah, we're the simple water, man.
Yeah, you know, there's the old saying, "Kiss, keep it simple, stupid." You know.
Yeah.
I love acoustic music, man. When I was growing up, back when MTV used to actually one of my moments when I was a kid. MTV used to do music, and they had the show Unplugged. I loved it because you'd
Yeah.
see some of these bands that you're so used to just seeing them rock out or do these big performances or these big shows, and to see them strip their music down to just a couple acoustic guitars and play it that way, that's something that I've always loved, and even to this day, I'm a sucker for it. Now, if I see like a band or something that I'm used to just hearing them just do their thing, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, we're going to do an acoustic cover of one of our own songs," like I love that shit. So yeah, I would definitely keep that in your arsenal because there's a lot of people out there that love the acoustic music, but to find a band that matches your vibe, like you said, it sets a tone for a whole new experience for a concert goer. Sure, you've been to some concerts and stuff. Sometimes it's more about the experience than the actual music.
Yeah.
You're there because you already love the music. You're already going to hear the music. I'm not so much worried about if the singer's a little bit off, but if the singer just comes out and he's a stone wall, or the band's stone wall, where's the experience? Where's the good time at? That's what I'm here for. I already know the music. I'm gonna go home. I'm about probably been listening to it all the way here. I'm gonna listen to it all the way home. I want to see you guys put on a show. Dance, monkeys, dance.
Yeah. And one thing to kind of add on that, right? Something with band work that I think any band member of any nature will agree with me is when the more you have, it's the easier it is to hide the mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you see a lot of the time, like there's guys can stop playing, besides like, very essential things that like if they mess up, you're gonna see it real hard.
Yeah.
Like drummer and bass player, of course. But it's like way easier to hide your mistakes. When you are bare bones, just voice and guitar, your mistakes are in the spotlight. You know what I mean? If you hit a hiccup, everyone heard and seen that hiccup, you know what I mean? And you got to do your best to keep it rolling. But that's the thing, right? Finding the balance between those two, set you up with a whole different avenue of opportunities.
Oh yeah, that takes you back to that whole vulnerability. You're up there doing your guitar, you miss a string, or you flub up the words, something like that. It's front and center. You're like, I went to go see Mark. Fucking only thing I took out of it was
yeah, right.
I mean, I guess he's all right, but he can't play a guitar worth a damn. No, I get that, man. I get that 100%. So, do you got the show coming up at the end of March? I would say we would make a trip up to Cleveland, but we'll be on our way down to, as I affectionately call it, Southern Ohio, aka Florida.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's where everybody goes from Ohio.
Yeah. We're North Florida, they're South Ohio, whatever the case may be. We're all the same. But do you got any other shows or anything like that you know of that you got coming up, or any other projects that you're working on that you want to share and let people know about?
Yeah, I'll be in Nashville in March as well. March 18th, I'm gonna go out there for a writers round.
Nice.
See a buddy of mine out there is very talented. Chris Shelby, shout out my boy. He's from Boston or Massachusetts, but Boston area.
Yeah.
And he's phenomenal. And so he just got a house out there and stuff. So I want to go see him and just knock out that little bit of action I got out there. Handle that show. Hopefully in between there, there's some other good opportunities. Right now, we're working on so much stuff, and it's just hoping that something hits. Shooting out an abundant amount of emails. I tell my boys managing me, and I'm like, listen, dude, I'm like, send another email. He's like, you want me to just spam them? I'm like, yes, because that's what I've been doing. At least you're a little more professional about it, So I was like, yeah, spam them, because that's the only way we're gonna get. We ain't gonna get an opportunity not trying to talk to them,
Yeah.
So I'm working on so much different shit, and I'm just waiting on a couple different little things. So time will tell how it all works out. But for the moment, we're just hitting Nashville in March, and then this show there, and then April's kind of open. I'm waiting to hear back on a couple things. And then rest of the year, we should be pretty packed up. That's the plan.
Nice.
Try to get
That's
out of state or something.
Right, right. And that's the goal, man. That, you know, hopefully that'll pan out for you. You know, are you opposed to, like, you know, opening for other, you know, obviously other bands, like, you know, if an opportunity presents itself?
Oh yeah.
To, you know, throw your name in the hat and say, hey.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd love to open for anybody. Honestly, like, I'm really not, you know, super picky. I mean, like I said, I play on shows with rappers and, you know, just a bunch of different genres as a whole. And I would love to open up for some really good country artists or rock bands or like whatever, you know, whoever's willing to give me an opportunity. You know, because I think I bring something real cool and unique to the table. And I think you know, the ultimate goal, you know, venues, their goal is obviously to make money, but at the end of the day, it's put on a good show, right? Make people want to come back. And I think that I, you know, definitely have the ability to help some people come back and give people a good night. So yeah, I mean, as many opening opportunities as I can get in the upcoming future, you know, hopefully the more credible, the better, of course. But you know, I'm not opposed to, and you know, anything. I'm open for it all.
Would you be opposed to a podcast host potentially reaching out to a couple people and see if they'd give you a shot?
Bring it on, man. Bring it on. I'll give you my cut of the pizza and beers.
You're speaking my language.
Yes, sir.
Some beer, hey, free beer, I'm in. You just point me in the right direction.
Yep.
No, man, I would love to see you out and about. I would love to get the opportunity to come check you out live, have a couple beers with you. I don't know, man. I gotta find some people. So, Hands of Seeds, appreciate you, brother. I love you. My goal is here in the next. I'm shooting a long distance goal, but I'm hoping it happens before that. I want to put together a music festival, a 4-day event, Thursday through Sunday, and that festival is only going to feature former guests of this show.
Yeah.
And now another avenue to that show has presented itself to add comedians into the mix. That was brought to my attention by a friend of mine who's a stand-up comedian, and he said, you know, comedy would be good to go with music. So yeah. I don't know what I'm sure there will be some discounted tickets, Hands, when that is announced. But I got to get my idea and myself in front of the right people.
Yeah.
So, and that'll be an invite sent to every former guest of this show, and then we'll figure it out. I might have a rock night. I might have a country night. Might do whatever. You know, break the nights up per genre, but your name will be on that list. It's automatically there because.
Hey, I'm with it. I'll do that shit for free. You want to throw me some pizza and beer? I'm with it.
Yeah. My goal is, and you're somewhat familiar with it, is big stands. I would love to do it out there. They're currently in the process of building a campground on site.
Shit. Damn, that would be crazy.
I would love to get with them and partner up with them and put it on there. They got a great spot. They're out in the country. You know, you don't have to worry about pissing everybody off in the city or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So I think that'd be a great show. And you're here, man. You're in Ohio. Ohio loves the local music scene. You know.
Yeah.
I gotta give you wouldn't think it, but I gotta give Ohio credit, man. Doesn't matter the genre or what it is. They love local music. They love live music, and we love to drink and party. So
yeah, straight up.
But no, I think I'm gonna reach, because I do know a couple very good friends of mine. They're gonna be on tour this spring and summer, and I may toss your name out there and say, hey, check this kid out.
Hey, I'd appreciate it, man.
So, yeah, I think they would like you. I think they would dig your style, and you would fit right in. And you could go up there with your guitar and do your thing. And one band actually had a guy open up for him, and it was just him and his guitar, and he killed it. So definitely think I can do that for you. I just don't want to get you into a situation where you're like, oh shit, I'm booked up. Oh man, this sucks. I have too many gigs. Whatever will I do?
Hey.
I hope you got a good amount of vacation time at your 9 to 5.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
They take care of me over there. They see the vision and the dreams too, man. They all want me to win as bad as I want to win. So, you know.
That's I have never thought to ask that because I've interviewed a lot of people that still are doing the 9 to 5 thing, and that's a interesting point to bring up. I would that they support you.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Some people are going to be like, no, sorry about your luck. Pick up your last paycheck at the door. So that's cool. Man, I get sidetracked, and I have an idea where I'm going to go. I get sidetracked, but no, bro, I'm looking forward to watching you grow, man. I'm glad that I'm looking forward to having that moment of going. I remember way back when I had that guy on my show. Now he doesn't even respond to my messages.
See, hey, and you know what? I love the fact that you just said that, right? I hear that all day, every day. Because I mean, as you can tell from our short conversation here, I talk a whole hell of a lot, and I bartend, so I tell people all the time, no, hey, what do you do? I'm a country, and I show people stuff, and I probably hear that 15 times a week, no exaggeration. Like, oh, don't forget about me when, I never will. That's not because that's the thing, right? The way I grew up, I think so many people had such a big play in who I, became as a man, and same goes for like my music career. So many people just have supported me and helped me along the way that it's like I never forget a phase, and I know that when I hit people up and I want an opportunity or something, or just to be like, show support and just be like, hey man, I'm a big fan of your stuff. Like, and they don't respond. It's like, all right, whatever, like me, like I'll never ever be that way. There's no dollar sign that could ever change me ever. That's not the person my parents raised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always got respect and love for the people that got respect and love for me, and I will always show it until they put me in a box.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's a good mindset and mentality to have because too many people they get hell. I've said it a million times. I don't care how big or how successful I become doing this. If I ever do, I know who the ones that were there at the beginning. I know the ones that are stuck with me through thick and thin. When shit's hit the fan and shit's gone sideways, and everybody thought I was going to give up and stop doing this. Nah, man. I don't care how big or successful we get. I like that mentality. I like to hear that mentality from other people too, because some people say that you go, really? So no, man. But no, like I said, I'm looking forward to watching your journey. Here on the sidelines, and seeing what you do, and hopefully, being able to do our part to help in that journey.
Absolutely.
I asked before the show, and I always ask on the show, as long as you're okay with it, we're going to continue kicking out the music here on the net across the network. We play music on different shows from time to time, and I've made it a point that I want my other shows to, if they play music, make it former guests. Don't play anybody else's. If you do, like, tell them to come hit me up. But I want the former guests played. I want their music pumping out there for our audience, for our crowd, because you never know who that artist is going to be that's really going to, hit with somebody. That's one of the greatest compliments I get from everybody is I haven't had a bad – everybody I've had up there, they're like, damn, another artist I'm following now that I like. So I got good taste, fuckers.
Yeah. Straight up. Hey, and again, that is like a testament to you, man, like of just, supporting what you like, right? Not enough people do that. Not enough people are willing to stand by and ride and support with the things they like, right? Due to, either not wanting to or, fear of what other people might think of what your taste is or whatever, and it's like, that goes such a long way and it's so heavily appreciated. I'm sure in this moment I could speak for everybody else that you work with that, extremely appreciative, like, doing you, sticking true to you and showcasing what you like you can't go wrong with that. And if anyone has something to say about it, fuck them. Like straight up.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? That rings true for you as well, man. Somebody don't like what you're doing, fuck it. You're doing you. At the end of the day, don't. You know, you hear the stories of a lot of artists that sign with these big record labels, and of course you hear the horror story of, oh well, you're signed with Universal or whatever. You're a millionaire. No, I get 20%. They take the other 80. You know, but also you hear, I like to say Aaron Lewis, for instance, because it's he spoke on it a lot. They completely change who you are. They change your identity, the way you dress, the way you look, the way you sound, the music you play, and everything else like that. And I say that because 20 some odd years ago, I seen Stain perform, and I was like, and I was a fan, and I was like, oh, this was terrible because Aaron Lewis was miserable, and he just stood there and sang every song just like this and didn't even really do anything. Fast forward 20 years later, he's away from the label. He's doing his own thing. I see Stained again at a rock festival, and it's a totally different band. It's a totally different experience. But he spoke on it a lot, that, you know, he got away from that record label and got away from not being him, and now he's back to, you know, being himself. And, you know, for anybody in the entertainment industry, stay true to yourself. Stay humble as best as you can.
Absolutely.
We were brought up a certain type of way. Luke Combs is one that did that too.
Yeah,
I like.
I like Luke Combs too, but like, and talk on him for a second. Like, you know, dude's got a great voice.
Yeah,
but not to say like Nashville has an ability to get a bunch of the best songwriters in the world, right? And obviously that's subjective, but if we're going to talk numbers, we're going to talk numbers. All the guys that put up the best numbers, they get in a room, they write a song, and they pitch it to each of these guys, you know? And that's where I feel like the authenticity falls through, you know? Luke Combs is fantastic. I like the songs that Luke Combs writes. Like, I like all the shit he does, but like, I remember I heard, well, Where the Wild Things Are. And you know, he talks like, you know, his brother hit a guardrail and died and all this stuff, and like his brother moved away to California and all this stuff, and like, you know, it's like, it feels really intimate and legit, and of course that's going to resonate with people that, you know, that connect with it, but it's like, it's not your story, and that's just something, you know, that's a personal thing that I like knowing something's real. Like, like I love professional wrestling. I'm not going to use the F word. I know it's a work though, you know what I mean? But I still like it, you know what I mean? And that's fine. But like the stuff that's real, you know what I mean? It just is different, you know what I mean? Like it just is. And to each their own, of course. But like, you know, I like the guys that, you know, do it themselves. And that's one thing why the labels fucking rearrange and move all these people around and make them change their whole fucking thing, is because half the songs that they're being, you know, it's either you fucking sing these songs or you're fucking out of a job, bud, and you go back to where the fuck you came from, you know? And it's like, that's how it goes. But I'm gonna try to do my best to keep, you know, what we built the same.
And unfortunately, a lot of those songs are cookie cutter songs.
Yeah.
And I like to call Luke Bryan Catfish Country, because he just throws those keywords in every song: girl, pickup truck, you know, dirt road, beer. Like, what are you doing, dude? You're a talented guy. I'm not going to shit on the guy. Super talented, great voice on him, but it's cookie cutter. You know, it's we get it. We heard the last, you know, a Luke Bryan song in the first 2 or 3 notes because they all sound the same. And it is basically going to be the same thing repeatedly. That's why, you know, I said earlier, I miss the real writers, the storytellers, and you know, like yourself and several other people that I've had on here. Write about real life, your stories, you know, what you're feeling. Who cares if you write 20 sappy songs and one like kick-ass song, you know?
Yeah.
But what you're writing is real, and people feel that, and they can relate to it. You look back on singers like Johnny Cash or Willie Nelson,
Well, George Jones.
yeah, you know, Merle. So some of those guys, they couldn't carry a tune in a fucking bucket. Let's be honest. But what they sang about was real.
Yeah.
You know, and what they wrote about was real life. And David Allan Coe, love him or hate him, there's no in between. But man, that dude wrote some real ass fucking songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that's, you know, timeless, right? You talk about like timeless, like those guys wrote stuff that was so genuine and real that we are able to sit here and talk about it today still, all these years later. You know what I mean? And that's something to be said about that. Like the authenticity will always shine through.
Yeah.
You're talking about Upchurch? I do like Upchurch. One of my painting bosses, my guy, Derek Angelo, love you, brother, if you're watching. You know, Upchurch is like one of his favorite dudes. Like his son and all his friends, he calls them the holler boys. Like I'm a holler boy, like with him, like, and you know, he's broke away from the system. He's been offered boatloads of money, but he refuses to conform to what they want him to do, man. Sings his truth, does what he wants to do. Is he a little unorthodox from time to time, a little batshit crazy? Sure, but we all are. We just don't let everybody see it all the time. But no, he's the man. He's built something solely on what he wanted to do and is still doing it. So I'll tip my hat to that any day.
Yeah, he's not afraid to put his emotions out there and his crazy on display. But I'm a fan of his music. You may not like what he does in his personal life or how he handles certain things or whatever, but I'm a fan of the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you're told or get the hell out of here.
Yep.
Old school country.
Damn right.
Hand says your song "The End" is a hit.
Oh shit, man. Thank you. I'm trying to remember how that will go. No, I know how it goes. Dang. It's nice. It's nice too, because I've never got a compliment about that song. That's funny.
I will say shout out to my audience because they will, when I got guests on, they will jump in there and they'll listen to they'll dive like I dive, man. They'll dive right in. And they'll check out everything. And I've even had people go, you know, that song, blah, 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 not so great. And they're like, I was 16 years old when I did that song. I had forgotten about that song. So,
damn,
that's a good one. Dude, you were. I want to get here and get ready to wrap this up, but man, you were awesome. You're welcome back anytime, brother.
Likewise.
You know, you're welcome back anytime. Obviously, keep in touch. You know, if you got new stuff coming out, I try my best. I know I know I'm terrible at it, but you know, I try my best to keep my eyes on social media, what everybody's doing. And if I catch it and you're promoting something, I'll throw it up in our stories, whatever. But feel free to send stuff my way. Like, hey man, I got this new song coming out. Share it out, let people know, whatever. And definitely keep us all posted on where you're going to be at, what you're going to be doing. We're rolling into the season, man. Like, I know spring and summer is big time for you guys to get out on the road and do your thing. So, you know, definitely keeping us up to date where you're going to be at. We have listeners from not only all over the country, but all over the world that tune into our network here and listen and find people and follow people. So, you know, keep us up to date that way. And don't be a stranger. Like I said, anything we can do. Absolutely. I am going to be reaching out to a couple friends and send, hopefully they'll listen to me and send them your way and see if we can get you a couple opening gigs, you know, to your schedule. So you're not sitting at home twiddling your thumbs.
Sure. Hell yeah. For real. Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, guys, jump on Mark's social. You got his Kayla you got your Instagram here. And if you want to shout out all your social medias, go ahead, Mark. Let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, Mark Mason Tunes on pretty much everything. You know, I'd say my Instagram, I probably put the most stuff up on there. You can hear, a lot of unreleased stuff that I like just singing and writing songs, man. So, sometimes I'll just pop up the camera and just share a little bit of it, kind of see what people think of it. But yeah, you can kind of get a little bit, more of an idea, kind of what I rock with and how I get down, and hopefully it resonates with as many of you as possible.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the. I got too many buttons over here. I need to get a producer that does all this stuff behind the scenes for me.
Lock them in.
Yeah, man. Go like it, like, share, subscribe. Not obviously not only to us, but to Mark as well. And a like and a comment goes a long way. And it's the best way to support local artists. If you like what they're doing, you like their music, a like, a comment, and a share. It's free, and it goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. It only takes one thing to cause a chain reaction. So
yep, exactly. So this is the part of the show where I get to put you on the spot.
That's fine. I'm always ready. I say that now. I say that now.
You say that now. Like, share, and sub, y'all. Thank you, baby. I always like to ask my guests before we get out of here. There's a final thought or a piece of advice that maybe there's a younger kid out there that's like kicking around the idea of music, but they don't know if they have it. Sure. Some advice that you would drop on them, or a final thought. So, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that you can do is put in the work first and foremost. Follow your passions, right? Fall in love with it. Fall in love with the process. And whatever that process may be. If you just like playing guitar, if you like hitting the drums, if you like playing the flute, harmonica, it doesn't matter, man. Just fall in love with it, and you'd be surprised where that love will guide you and take you. Now, with love in it, that's one part of it. You got to put the work in. There's no way around that. There's no such thing as an easy route. Maybe for some, but if you think it's gonna happen to you, it's not gonna. It's just like, I think I might hit the lottery. Probably not. Pretty slim odds. But what I can do to 100% secure some money is work my fucking ass off, right? And so just follow your passions, love what you do, and share like your experiences and your thoughts and passions with as many people as possible, because you'd be surprised how many other people's minds are like on the same exact wavelengths. You can't beat the hard work. And you can't beat love, you know what I mean? Like, no matter how you feel about it, just and try, right? Experiment, be curious. That's the best piece of advice I got right there. Be curious, try as much as you can, and you'd be surprised what ends up working for you. And if it starts working and you like it, keep doing it. Just do it every single day. Fill your life with it, and only good things will come. 100%.
Boom! Special teams touchdown right there, baby.
Watch
that. Got it and took off.
Funny enough, that was my first touchdown of my entire career, was a kick return touchdown.
Nice.
That's what we do. We get it, we run.
Yeah, get it and run. Brother, I appreciate you, man. Best of luck to you. I can't wait to. I'm really looking forward to hopefully catching the show. I'm gonna be keeping my eye out. It's something that Kayla, my girlfriend, and I just we've talked about trying to catch as many artists as we possibly can. I initially gave myself a 3-hour window. You're not 3 hours away. You're just right up the road a little bit. She bumped it out to 4 hours. I'm like, okay, we can do 4 hours. I don't mind. I like weekend road trips. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
But definitely looking forward to seeing you live. And like I said, I'll say it again, watching you grow, man. I'll take my little seat here on this journey that you're on and watch it and definitely enjoy it,
Yes, sir. Hey, my journey is our journey, my friend. That's how I look at it. So, the way I look at it, everybody eats. Everybody eats. Ain't no one going hungry. So we got to make sure, we do right by everybody else that does right by us, and it's a collective, 100%.
Amen to that. You are welcome to hang out. I got to do my little spiel and my little rundown. If you want to run, feel free to run. You're absolutely welcome to. I got to do my little spiel and my little closer here. But everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, man. If you're not already,
Absolutely.
like, share, and subscribe. Give us a follow. Tell a friend. Like Mark said earlier, I've said it before. You tell 10 people, maybe 3 people will like it. But those 3 people tell 10 people. 3 more people like it, and so on and so on and so on. Those first initial 10 people turn into 1,000 real quick. So not only give Mark a follow, but give us a follow. Tune into the rest of the shows this week. Tomorrow night, the debut of Glick's Comedy Lounge. Again, Ego. I have Glick's House of Music. I have Glick's Drive-In, where I hang out with the movie and television. And now I have Glick's Comedy Lounge, where I'll be hanging out with comedies. I got a very good friend of mine. I call him a brother. We've been doing this podcasting, streaming journey together for about 10 years. He's now jumped into the world of stand-up comedy, and he's killing it. And I couldn't be happier for him. So why not start a show where I interview comedians and have one of my very best friends, Kevin Hawley, come on and hang out with me. So we'll be doing that tomorrow night. And then Thursday, Wally and Johnny Bongs, a.k.a. Fidel Bongs, he'll step away from being a dictator in a third world country to talk about animals, reptiles, and all that on Cold-Blooded Conversations. Fridays are still up in the air. I don't know what's going on Fridays. We'll figure that out as we figure that out. And then, of course, Saturday, we got Saturday afternoon. Mark, you're a big wrestling fan. You check out my son and I do Cash's Corner every other Saturday. And we talk all things wrestling, WWE mainly related. He's new to the world, so he's starting to dip his toes into the AEW and the TNA and whatnot. I've been a fan my whole life. Now, we'll say this, a little spoiler alert. I definitely want to talk to him about this, and I want to talk to you guys about this. Last night, Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, 100% unscripted, off the rails with the promos that they cut on each other. Holy fuck. That was intense.
Watch that.
Yeah, that was completely unscripted. I don't care what anybody says. That was wild. So Cash and I will definitely be talking about that. And then, of course, Saturday night, Nonsensical Nonsense. We kick the doors off the hinges. You assholes are welcome to come hang out with us on the panel. 6 hours, anything goes. Yes, we do a 6-hour show every Saturday night. And then Sunday, Rick and I will be back. Unnecessary Roughness, talking all things sports, or just sitting around bullshitting. Always throwing a nice fuck Notre Dame every Sunday because why? Because fuck Notre Dame at the end of the day.
Fuck Notre Dame.
Yep. And then we kick it all off again Monday. Back to back. Glick's Drive-In. I got a very good friend of mine coming back. This time not as a musical guest, but as an actor and writer. And I think he's done a little directing. Roland Jouet, he's done it all. And then Wally and the boys will be doing Speedway Stories on Monday. So then we'll get into the rest of next week. Nice. We'll get into the rest of next week later on as we go on. Again, Mark, thank you so much. Welcome back anytime, brother. If you happen to catch a wrestling show, you want to pull up on panel and talk a little wrestling, let me know. I'll send you.
You can count me in anytime on that.
Yeah, we'll talk a little wrestling. I'm sure Cash will like that. He's my son's 12. He always gets excited. He's got his own show, but he gets excited when some of the wrestling community will jump up and chat a little wrestling with us. So he gets to learn about some of the old school stuff. But with that being said, guys, we're out of here. Make sure you follow Mark. Make sure you follow us. And brother, have a great night, man. I'm sure we'll be talking very soon.
Yes, sir. You as well, my friend. Appreciate you again. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm going to hit these buttons, and we're actually going to play your brand new song on the way out of here.
All right. Hey, hope you guys like it.
I know a little bit about a little bit. I might know what I'm doing around here.
Yes, sir.
Something about that summer wind gets me going every time that you're in my ride. to say.